Hello everyone, Alex here with Lucksack Games, and before we begin, I would like to start by paying tribute to a friend of mine named Jack that unfortunately passed away about a week ago in an unfortunate drowning incident at his local school while doing lifeguard training. So, a moment of silence for my lost friend. And let's start the league. Jack was a subscriber for over a year to my Twitch, as well as being a friend that I'd talk to almost daily. It's kind of unbelievable to think that he passed away. So, it's really unfortunate to miss you, Jack. What we're going to do today is we're going to play some 8 Mulch. I think I have 8 Mulch. Let's make sure I registered 8 Mulch. That is indeed 8 Mulch. Alright. So I guess this is when the big streamers do their little deck tech. So this deck's fairly simple. We have ramp in the form of Exploration and Manabond. Manabond allows you to put all lands from your hand into play, but you have to discard your hand. And Exploration just allows you to play an extra land every turn. Life in the Loan returns land cards from your graveyard to your hand. Mulch allows you to look at the top 4 cards of your library and put all land cards there into your hand. Same with Winding Way. Putting all those land cards in your hand works pretty well with Field of the Dead, which allows you to create zombie tokens if you have 7 or more different lands. We do play quite the wide array of lands, as well as a playset of Wastelands, Thespian Stages, and Dark Depths to be able to combo our opponent. Beseiju, who endures Blast Zone, Bajuka Bog, and Ghost Quarter, Maze of Ith, Caracas, Otawara, Tabernacle. These are all of our interactive spells. So let's see if we can find an opponent here for round 1. I'm not sure if I will have time to record the entirety of the league this evening, but I'm trying to get at least one round in. If I can find an opponent. Wow. Alright, let's go ahead and join match and look for our opponent. Hey, we won the die roll. We'd love to be on the play. This hand's pretty close. So it does have a Manabond, which is one of the more powerful cards in our deck, but it has none of our 8 Mulch effects, which would pair very well with it, or a Life in the Loam. I'm going to go ahead and take a mulligan on this. I think we can do a little better. This hand. So at first glance, it looks better. We have Manabond, we have Winding Way, we have Life in the Loam. We don't have any green source. I think we go to 5. This has Crop Rotation, Dark Depths. I think this is our best hand so far. So let's go ahead and put back one of these Dark Depths and Crop Rotation. And we're going to play to a Thespian Stage line this game. So let's play Snow Covered Forest and pass. If they are like Reanimator, we have Crop Rotation for... Ooh, there's a Swamp. A Duress. That's not great news for us. That means they're likely a combo deck. We're going to go ahead and just cast Crop Rotation now, because otherwise they will take it from us. And we're going to go ahead and grab Thespian Stage. We're still 2 lands away from actually activating that. But it just feels like getting that on the battlefield is probably the right choice. Unfortunately, we do Dark Depths, so not a land that actually helps get us to our goal. If we draw Yavimaya off the top, that would be absolutely excellent. Ooh, opponent's playing Curses or something. Plays out a map. Not sure how good Tabernacle's going to be, but we're going to play it out anyways. I think opponent's going to go grab Urza's Saga. Let's see if that's correct. I could be wrong. They are grabbing their own Thespian Stage. All right, we're dead. All right, that's a pretty good play from the opponent. So we have one draw step to draw Yavimaya to make our own 2020. Not sure on the opponent waiting here. Just gives us also additional outs in drawing Wasteland, which I appreciate, opponent. Did not get there. And luckily, though, we do have this Mazebith, which we can just drop into play, so it's not quite game over yet. Opponent puts into play an opposition agent. Okay. See if they pay for their agent. They do. Tapping down Thespian Stage does mean that they are no longer threatening to copy our Dark Depths. Maybe I gave them too much credit for seeing that line, and maybe they were just going for like a long-term plan with this saga, which seems reasonable. Let's see if we can rip a Mulch off the top, or a Yavimaya. Yavimaya would be sick. You know, we don't complain about those. We appreciate those, and we take those. So we're going to go ahead and play Field of the Dead this turn, and pass through the turn. Now, of note, as much as I would have liked to... Oh, I shouldn't have taken the 3 damage there. Definitely should have Mazebithed. Sorry. It is very late that I'm recording this, and this is why I'm only going to do the one game. Because I certainly should have Mazebithed that. Alright, opponent's tapping down Thespian Stage for the second time. Gets a Vampire Hexmage. I mean, that can technically remove all the counters from my Dark Depths, but I don't think that's what the opponent would like to do with their card. Opponent plays their own Dark Depths. Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and remember to maze this time. And then take our beats. Stomping Ground isn't exactly what we were looking for. So we're going to play the Misty Rainforest, and I think we're going to pass the turn. Alright. And I think once the opponent's tapped down like this, I think the plan is to fetch. I'm an idiot. There's an opposition agent in play. Alright, we're going to go ahead and give the old shame concede for the second punt. And let's go ahead and move to sideboarding. Okay, so the opponent's on Mono Black Stompy. Force of Vigor's good against that deck. Bog's not amazing. Crocus not amazing. Flame Jab's not great, but I think I'll bring it in. Yeah, opponent definitely got an extra easy time there due to my sloppy play. Sorry, everyone. I'll try and tighten it up for the rest of this league. Of note, I expect them to be a Rest in Peace Helm deck, or not rather, Leyline of the Void Helm deck. So, yeah. I would like to play first, actually. Have the one of Force of Vigor in our opening hand, and a Mulch. Is this still a mulligan? Is this really no green sources? Wow. Okay. No green sources, a second. No, there's Yavimaya. Oh, thank God. All right. If we keep this, we're going to dump a bunch of lands into play and then do basically nothing. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and show me your leyline, opponent. Uh-huh. I mean, oh no, not leyline. So because they have the leyline, I'm actually going to not put these in this turn. And I'm going to hope to try and draw a mulch effect, which will allow me to... well, the Yavimaya is enabling them to have a faster combo with Dark Depths, not being ideal. Drawing second Manabond's not ideal. I think I'm just going to go with the Wasteland. And I guess there's no reason not to play out the second Manabond. I mean, there's probably a few reasons, but not right now. Again, just hoping to draw a mulch effect off the top. In hindsight, probably should have taken out one of the Life in the Limbs. Opponent drops the needle, probably on Wasteland. The chosen card is Wasteland. Alright, we need a mulch into a Field of the Dead right now. Mulch. That was not a mulch, so I'm still not in a rush to do anything. Yeah, I'm just going to pass the turn. Really need one of our 8 mulch effects. I mean, it is the name of the deck, so I don't think it's asking for too much. And with 5 land names already, it's pretty likely that if we just hit it, we can go off. Our opponent will be getting a Dark Depth, so this is our last draw step for this. And we hit. Okay, so... I guess Wasteland's only good for mana at this point. Winding Way. We'll choose land. Okay, opponent's going to crack their map now. That's fine. Show me that Dark Depths, I assume. Urborg. Well, that's a little bit interesting when there's already a Yavimaya in play. They must have a Vampire Hexmage. We'll take all the lands, please. A little bit awkward. A little bit awkward. So we're just going to go ahead and pass the turn because we don't want to put this Dark Depths in play. It will kill us. And again, we're trying to draw to really hitting a Field of the Dead to put a bunch of things into play, not just one. Wonder what this Urza Saga is going to grab. Opponent did not float with Urza Saga, which is interesting. Second Needle. Okay. Grab it. Naming second Wasteland. This one's probably on Blast Zone, actually, if they're smart. Since I revealed it off of the Winding Way. Elvish Reclaimer. Okay, well, that's not a card that's in my deck, so that's pretty great. I assume this is... Ooh, Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's going to show you that I have a handful of lands, and you're going to lose 2 life. However, your black spells are unlocked now. And another map. Alright. So now, do I trigger Manabond? I think I do. Alright, so let's start by... Sacrifice Blast Zone. Destroy all the 1-drops. Then we're going to Wasteland them off of Urborg, since that is what they went and tutored. And then no to that. Alright, we won that game. So they do have Leyline of the Void. It's not that big of a deal. We didn't even have the Force of Vigor. I think Flame Jab's still fine, especially since they showed us Bob. I think it's fine to cut a life from the loam for that Flame Jab. Might end up regretting that, but maybe not. Maybe we'll look so pro if they go turn 1 Bob and we just go turn 1 jab your Bob. Give them a little jab jab. So I definitely feel like I tightened it up for that second game. Let's see if we can keep that rolling. Alright, this is Manabond, Mulch, and a green source. So this is a keep. Opponent does not have Leyline on 1. If they have Thoughtseize, they have Duress. We do have 2 Manabond effects, which means they're likely taking our Mulch. Looks like it. Ideally, we just Thoughtseize bug them right now. Didn't. Not that lucky. Alright, so... we're just going to go ahead and trigger this Manabond. Get a whole bunch of lands into play. Opponent can never play a Dark Depths now, or we get a 20/20, which is kind of sick. This Saga's not bad. I'll work on that, opponent. Oh, there's the Bob. Alright, so right now I can't Flame Jab it because I just can't. I don't have a red source. Let's go ahead and sacrifice Waterlogged Grove and drawing a card. Maybe that's not exactly what we're looking for. Alright, and we're going to draw something really good. Oh, the Flame Jab, but I don't have the red source. Alright, so... yeah, let's see. There's no red source I can grab in my deck. We're not going to trigger this. We are going to have a Thespian stage, so it's about to start. Leyline of the Void. Opponent just took 4 off revealing Leyline. That's got to be brutal. I do remember I have this card now, opponent. I'm sorry I forgot game 1. However, now I would love to have that, if you don't mind. I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you don't mind if I just copy this here at Thespian stage. Force of Vigor, you say? All right, so let's see here. I think we're just going to force a Virgo this Urza Saga. So just the one? Okay. Just hit Urza Saga. We could have waited till the end step, but I don't think their one construct is going to beat us. Sure, they have a black floating. Instead, they're going to play an opposition agent. Nope. All right. Opponent reveals Crocus this time. That's a much better reveal for them. All right, let's take 2 here. And if we draw a red source, we stop taking damage, which is kind of hot. Has to be a red source we don't fetch for, though, which is a little unfortunate. Voidwalker, that's a spicy one. And a map. All right. We draw a Mulch. A Thespian stage is pretty good. So Urza Saga now has the ability to make construct tokens. Let's play another Thespian stage. It's probably going to work towards copying a Mazabeth, if I get the opportunity. Opposition agent bolts our opponent for another 3 damage. Thanks, Bob. We all know whose team you're really playing on. Opponent plays a Dark Depths. Maybe the opponent has multiple Caracas? I do not know. I'm going to Mazaveth. This thing. So if the opponent has a post-combat Vampire Hexmage, which I could have played around there. Nope, I like this though. Alright, so we're going to Ghost Quarter Caracas. And then we're going to Thespian Stage, copy their Dark Depths to make a 20/20. I imagine they have a Sudden Edict, but that's why I have 2 of them. Never mind. Oh, yeah. Opponent's getting free value here. Because they still have Sudden Edict up, but I'm going to go for it anyways. Trigger. Here's my 20/20. I'm just hoping that they didn't play around me getting a 20/20 off their Dark Depths. Alright, so let's go ahead and become a copy of their basic swamp. And we did draw the red source, by the way. Finally. I'm pretty sure we don't have an artifact to search. Yeah, I don't have a card opponent. Hey, we won the match. All right, so the opponent misplayed definitely by playing out the Dark Depths. If they hadn't, they probably could have clocked us over the next couple of turns, even though we would have eventually been able to start popping out constructs one after another. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. We also managed to get a basic swamp. So even if the opponent was playing Wasteland, which I'm pretty sure they're not, they wouldn't have been able to destroy our construct-making machine. So I'm pretty sure that we had this game locked up in more ways than one. And an interesting note that we ended the game at 13 life to 13 life. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Remember to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with your friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time. Peace. All right, everyone, we're back here for round 2. We are currently 1-0 in this league, 2-0 and 2-1 in games. Picking this up a couple days later. Let's see if we can finish this up. This hand has Winding Way and Life from the loam, but it doesn't have any acceleration, so we'll take a look at another hand, and this one looks pretty dang good. So we're going to keep, and we have to make a choice between which one of these 3 utility lands we want to keep, either Caracas, Maze of Ith, or Thespian Stage. Of those, I feel like Thespian Stage is the most replaceable effect. So we're going to go ahead and just start off by keeping Caracas and Maze of Ith. That way, if the opponent's on like something like Reanimator, we have the maximum amount of play available. See what the opponent's doing. Opponent appears to be doing the 8 cast, whereas we're doing 8 mulch. So we're both doing 8 things. And of course now I'm sad I don't have Thespian Stage because Maze of Ith is not very good in this matchup, but that's okay. We're going to put an Exploration onto the stack into a Misty Rainforest and we'll pass. See what the opponent goes for here. A Ponder. Okay. Possible as well that they aren't 8 cast, but rather a Storm deck. And if they're a Storm deck, that could get real scary for us real fast. Ooh, opponent kept a 1 lander. So it's possible they're like shift, like paradigm shift. Huh. I want to hit some wastelands off this Winding Way. So we're going to get a Stomping Ground, and we're going to get that tapped. And we're going to cast Winding Way. We would like some lands, please. Land. We hit Ghost Quarter, Field of the Dead, Thespian Stage. Alright, let's go ahead and play a Field of the Dead. And a Ghost Quarter. And I'm probably going to Ghost Quarter them during their upkeep, so let's go ahead and set that stop. Let's take away Ancient Tomb. We also shuffle their Ponder, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what their intention was with that. Opponent got a Mountain, so they are certainly not just a 8-cast deck. Opponent's casting their Sneak Attack, I'm assuming. Is this a Sneak Attack opponent? It is. Alright, is this an Emrakul opponent? Sneak Attack pass. Okay. Well, while it's not amazing for us, this does give us some counterplay. Alright, now we're just going to try and cast both of these, this Mulch and this Winding Way, and Manabond out. So yeah, let's Mulch. Is Mulch good, opponent? Opponent appears to be acting like they have a counterspell. Only Field of the Dead, not ideal. We have to hit a green source off of this Winding Way. Land. We do. We hit Basic Force of all things. Put Manabond into play. Oh, opponent did have Force of Will. Oh, no. Okay. Well, this is kind of silly that we didn't. But they pitch. Show and Tell. Yeah. Alright, a little bit silly that we didn't put in Caracas instead of Thespian Stage, but I guess now the opponent doesn't know about it. Alright, well now we have a 20/20 and a Caracas. Life from Loam is fine. We mill Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, Yavimaya. That's amazing. So we're going to go ahead and cast this targeting these 3. See if the opponent has a response, or if that's just going to happen. Opponent is going to force pitching second Show and Tell. So I did make the correct play of not revealing that we have the Dark Depths already. So let's go ahead and sorcery speed make this 20/20. And pass. Opponent has no cards in hand. We have a Karaka set. What could the opponent possibly have? Brainstorm's a good one. That lets them look at 3. They have to answer this 20/20 now. They gave us just enough time. That sneak attack was scary. Very scary. And we got it. All right, let's begin sideboarding. So let's see. Against sneak attack, I think we want Force of Vigor. We definitely want Pyroblasts. I don't think we want Blast Zone, Bajuka Bog. Maze of Mist can be fine, but I think they're actually going to be terrible, so we're going to go ahead and pull those out. Same with Tabernacle. These are all cards that can do things, but I don't predict them being the ones that do. All right. Submit it like that. Of note, I don't think we're favored in this matchup. So we'll be interested to see how these go. This hand would be absolutely gorgeous if it had a single green source in it. I mean, obviously, I'd say it back. This hand wouldn't be keepable even with just one green source. So let's go ahead and mulligan. This hand is not very fast. I'm going to keep this since it has Pyroblast's early interaction, and I always bottom Winding Way because it's less clicks than Mulch. And I have no creatures in my main board currently for Winding Way to locate. See what the opponent starts off on. Our plan is probably, since we're gonna probably save this Pyroblast basically for a show and tell. Taiga off the top was absolutely incredible, so we're just gonna play that and pass. We're probably not gonna play the Mulch until 3. Unless we end up drawing for a faster combo line. This feels like a desperate attempt at a second land, so I lied. I'm going to aggressively Pyroblast that Ponder. And the opponent does not have second land. My read was correct. Alright, so Yavimaya was a good draw. That means that potentially, if this crop rotation resolves, we have a 20/20 next turn. So let's find out how this goes. Opponent drew Ancient Tomb. Interesting. Okay. And is passing. So since I don't have any more Pyroblasts, I'm just going to sack the Taiga. And go for a crop rotation here. Opponent's going to Intuition in response to my crop rotation. Let's see if they grab forces. Would be pretty reasonable. If they do, we hope to, yeah, they're going to grab forces, so they're going to force this crop rotation. That's fine. might indicate they have a slower hand, might indicate that they're looking for something, might indicate that they have it and are just trying to keep us from doing things. Just for the Field of the Dead's not a huge find there, but next turn we'll cast Mulch again and see if we can find a wasteland for that Ancient Tomb. Opponent has Show and Tell, which is not a good sign for us. We will go ahead and put in Field of the Dead. Alright, they just put in Emrakul. Alright, so we need to mulch into Caracas. Or draw it. We could draw it too. We did not draw it. I cannot play a land first, otherwise I can't Caracas. So let's go ahead and mulch. Ottawa is so close. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and concede here. Opponent got it. I could still technically top deck into Caracas, but I don't feel that we're anywhere near a winning game at that point. I still feel Force of Vigor is worth it. Maze of Ith does absolutely nothing against Emrakul. Alright, let's send it back like that. Of note, the opponent was probably playing around us going to crop rotation for a Caracas when we were actually just crop rotationing for a combo to kill them. Haha, we'll take the play. These are the wastelands we were looking for last game. We'll go ahead and take a mulligan though, because this hand doesn't have any acceleration. And this hand is very good. We're going to keep this, and I'm probably going to bottom Field of the Dead. That is our slower combo. Alright, opponent also mulligan to 6. We're going to play a Windswept Heath. Fetch a basic Forest, and cast Exploration. And then we'll play a Taiga. Pass the turn. Next turn, we're hoping to draw into a Mulch or another Pyroblast, something along those lines. Field of the Dead. Alright, not exactly what we were looking for, so let's go ahead and pick this up. With Life in the Loam. Opponent looks like they might be going for the counterspell here, which is fine. Brainstorms in response. Okay. Playing around the Pyroblast that they know we have in deck. We're going to play Field of the Dead and the Windswept Heath out. Alright, we're on. Even though we bottomed a Field of the Dead, it looks like we're on a slow Field of the Dead plan after all. Surgical on Life in the Loam. Sure. They do get to, unfortunately, know about our Pyroblast in hand, but there's still a lot of good draws in our deck. So to reduce or increase the likelihood of drawing either a crop rotation or a mulch, I am going to fetch a tapped land here. And Waterlogged Grove. Not the worst draw. 5. This is a 6 land. I think I would rather draw a card because I could still play another land. Second Field of the Dead. Not exactly amazing, but I'll go ahead and play it out. Alright, opponent appears to just be passing here. That tells me they probably have Show and Tell with backup. And they're literally just sitting on the lands, which is pretty bad news for us. So let's go ahead and make 4 zombies here. Oh, what? Duh. These aren't different names. Alright, looks like they missed again. Alright, no activated abilities, nothing we can do. We'll go to our turn. Now we'll get 2 zombies, 4 power. And start clocking our opponent. Alright, opponent. Now every turn you miss, it's going to actually be a real cost. Also, I should have melted 2 counters off Dark Depths. Definitely a punt on my end. Lowest pedal allows them to put show and tell on the stack, which is all they were looking to do. We're going to try and counter target spell because it's blue. Do you have force to back it up? You do. That was pretty much our read anyway, so that makes sense. Let's go ahead and melt 2 counters off the start depths. If the game comes down to me not having melted off these 2 counters, I can accept that. Okay, your Pyroblast is resolved, opponent. Show me what you got. Is it Omniscience? Is it just Emrakul again? Because unlike last game, I can take an Emrakul hit or 2. Gristlebrand's pretty good. While that cuts off a lot of my outs, that's also a risky proposition, especially if you draw another 7, as you will be unable to force, and I can bounce the Gristlebrand with a potential Caracas. Thespian Stage off the top is also a pretty decent draw. Pretty confident the best draw would be something I don't have to cast, because it's pretty likely at this point the opponent has a Force of Will. That's not the card we are looking for, so we're going to go ahead and pass the turn, but we have likely lost the game at this point, as the opponent gets to draw way too many cards on their turn. Looks like a pre-combat sneak attack into just put Emrakul into play. Little bold of the opponent, just with the Grove in play and 1 card in hand. It could be Punishing Fire, but definitely good game. I love Show and Tell. It's one of the first decks I played. Huge fan of it, even before Mulch. So if we're going to take a loss, I'm pretty happy that it's at least to this deck. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure that still kills me, but excuse me. That's not Emrakul. That's not Emrakul. I'm pretty sure what the attack trigger kills me, though. That's pretty hot, but that's not Emrakul. Wow. Archon spicy. All right. Well played, opponent. Good games. I'll see you next. See you back for round 3. Thanks. Alright, everyone. We're here back for round 3 with 8 Mulch. We're against Ringo Deathstar, which is probably the coolest name I've ever seen. This hand's pretty good, but we're going to take a mulligan because of the power of the London mulligan. Yeah, see, this is a Manabond Winding Way. We're going to keep this. I guess I get rid of Stomping Ground since that's the redundant effect. And we're just going to lead on Manabond Pass because we're going to hope to cast this Winding Way on turn 2. Alright. Well, it is resolved. That's a start. We're going to say no to the trigger. And see if the opponent just, like kills us with a name like Ringo Deathstar. Swamp. Thoughtseize is pretty good. Thoughtseize will take away our Winding Way, so we don't have that to play with anymore. And if they're reanimated, they now see we have a Bog. There's no point in putting in that Field of the Dead. I guess I could trigger now and Thespian Stage copy Field of the Dead. Hey, I'm probably on board for that. It doesn't get me any zombies, but let's take the 1 card out of their graveyard. And let's get ready to copy 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess copy Field of the Dead. Blue Delta Fetch. This feels like a combo deck. But I could be wrong. It could just be like some mid-rangey. Baleful Strix, huh? Alright. Let's copy... I lied. Let's copy their basic island. Just to keep the maximum number of names in play. And now we actually have the ability to use Otawara. Alright. Now, every land drop we hit represents a 2/2 zombie, and if the opponent's playing a fair deck, they cannot beat that. Probably. So let's see how that goes. But having Thoughtseize on 1 was definitely the time to have it. Brainstorm. Okay. So is this blue-black show and tell? I don't even want to put that out into the universe because I don't want it to be blue-black show and tell. Opponent seems to have hit the fetch land off their Brainstorm. Is this just like another Baleful Strix, or... Yep, another Strix, which is pretty good against our 2020. Not so good against our 2/2s. Technically still kills them, though. So, let's see what we draw. A Winding Way that resolved would be amazing. Oh, look, it's the one land that doesn't give us zombies this turn. The good news is, now every one of our lands represents 2 zombies. So again, if the opponent's playing a fair deck, this is going to be very difficult for them to beat. Scalding Tarn. Looks like they're chipping in for their 2 damage. So of note, since I have Tropical Island in my deck, I'm going to try and copy this Scalding Tarn, see if they let me. Cool. It still produces green due to Yavimaya, and just gives me the option if I want to fetch to make some zombies. Which might be a route I go. Maybe I end up copying Field of the Dead. Who knows what direction I end up going with this. I'm leaning towards copying Field of the Dead, but we'll see. That's why I'm not cracking the fetch land yet. Alright, opponent's coming to combat, chipping in for their 2 damage. So they don't intend to trade off with zombie tokens, which makes a lot of sense to me. They have 5 lands in play. This feels a lot like it could be Doomsday. Doomsday. Yeah, and they're just like under no pressure, so... Yeah, alright. Let's go ahead and copy a Field of the Dead. Go ahead and play a Ghost Quarter. Put 3 Field of the Dead triggers on the stack. And if they are Doomsday, we now have a Shuffle on the stack, which might be able to mess with their pile. As well as, I believe we are now presenting Lethal. We fetch, make 3 zombies, Ghost Quarter our own, Field of the Dead, make, get the other forest, make 2 more zombies. So let's see if the opponent just wishes to roll over and die for us. That would be great. I'd appreciate it, but I have a feeling that the opponent's on Doomsday and is about to go, go, go. Alright, opponent's going to chip in for 2 more. That's fine. See if they have a Wrath effect. If they do, we get to make some zombies at instant speed, which is pretty sick. Costs are being paid. Narset. Alright, well, we have no intention of drawing cards at the moment. Narset's going to look for probably a Days Undoing, I guess, at this point. Maybe Doomsday. Hitsugetsu, who consumes all. That's a hot one. I don't think that saves them, though. Because they have to fetch 3 times here? Yeah. We'll see. Opponent's Grixis Control, though. That's spicy. That's probably my favorite of all the possible matchups it could have been. Opponent forgot to pay the red. Alright, cool. So we're going to turn off auto yields. Let Hitsugetsu resolve. It's going to just absolutely murder my board. And then during the end step, we're going to go ahead and crack a fetch. Grab a tap Stomping Ground. I would not like to pay 2 life. I would like to make 3 zombies. 2, 4, 6. And then I would like to Ghost Quarter this Field of the Dead, please. I would like to use the ability to grab this forest. Make 2 more zombies. And I would like to swing for Lethal. I don't think the opponent saw that trick. Boom. But it's little tricks like that that will definitely win you games with a deck that you might not otherwise win games with. So I want these Pyroblasts. Opponent's a Nurse set deck. Opponent has Baleful Strix. Opponent's trying to play fair, and I'm having none of it. It doesn't look like I want Bog or Tabernacle or Caracas. Not sure on Ghost Quarter. Probably not. It looked like they had plenty of basics. And there's not any real important lands I'm trying to destroy. Yeah, I could buy that. Let's try it like this. So the opponent's probably the one that's most equipped to handle the Dark Depths combo. So maybe there's a good point to boarding out one of the Dark Depths for a Ghost Quarter. Yeah, I'm good on that, actually. Assuming I'm still on, oh. Go away, Windows. Alright, Ringo Death Star. This hand is interesting, but a mulligan. This hand is interesting, and... Is it a keep? I think this might be a keep. I'm going to bottom this Pyroblast. We're counting a little bit on the power of Winding Way here, but we'll see. Opponent did not have Thoughtseize on one, which is why I kept double Exploration. Little unfortunate, but that's okay. And we draw. That was a very good draw, so now we don't have to play out our Boseiju yet. We can, though, if we wish. So let's go Forest, Exploration. I think we will play out Boseiju. Play out second Exploration, and play Ghost Quarter. Just get as on the board as possible. Hopefully the opponent just plays like a Baleful Strix here again. That'd be not that big of a deal. Him to Torok. Okay. I think I'd have to give up too much to fire off this crop rotation, so I think I'm fine with that just resolving. But him to Toroking the Life in the Loam deck is, they have to have Surgical. Oh, that's probably what that extra pause was, is them finding out they need to Surgical a Life in the Loam. I'm gonna save Manabond in hand for now. It might promote them to use another discard spell instead of advancing their board, which feels ideal to me. Ponder's fine. Really need kind of another Winding Way or even a Life in the Loam type effect. Alright, opponent misses on their third land drop. Exploration flooding is certainly a thing that's happening right now, isn't it? Hahaha. Alright, opponent is playing out a Baleful Strix, sure. Hits the third land drop. Alright, cool for the opponent. We hit the Life in the Loam. Okay, so I think I'm going to lead on the Manabond as bait. See if they have force. And then Life in the Loam, target the one Windswept Teeth we can hit. A little bit sad, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, play out the Windswept Teeth and fetch. Grab a Taiga and play out another Exploration. Alright. So now what we're hoping is that if they play it... Oh, they're going to play Hitsugetsu. Yeah, that was really bad of me to play out another Exploration. I definitely should have held the fourth one. Opponent's going to righteously hit to get to me, and that's totally fine. Surgicaling me first. That's fine. But I'm pretty sure we're about to lose our whole board to hit to get to, who consumes all. Powerful card. Probably my favorite reason to be in Grixis at the moment. Ooh, that is not the card I was expecting. Let's see what they reveal. Polluted Delta. Okay, they hit their land drop. And we no longer have life in the Lums to note. So we're just basically hoping to draw like a Winding Way off the top. Would be amazing. A Mulch would be great. Since I know they're a hymn deck, I think I'm going to just play out this trop. Yeah. I'm not feeling super advantaged unless I hit a draw 3 or a draw 4 off of a Mulch. But we do still have 7 of them in the deck. 7 of them in the deck. Alright, opponent found something they want to cast. Probably a hit to get to. Yep, say bye to my 1-drops. Bye, 1-drops. Alright, we're going to draw. Verdant's not super amazing, and we're going to pass the turn. We're going to lose our graveyard. So are they, but that's not a big deal. Another Baleful Strix. Doubled their clock. And another expressive iteration. Alright, let's see what we get for information this time. Thoughtseize. Alright, well. Opponent's probably not casting that unless they also have Death Shadows they haven't shown us, which would be pretty impressive in the Hitsugetsu consumes all deck. I would, however, very much like a Field of the Dead, a Winding Way off the top. Not exactly what we're looking for. Again, for him to Torak-based reasons, I will play it out, but not super excited about it. Alright, opponent's Saga transforms into a 3/3 Trampler. That's going to start to grow as it hits us, so we're running out of time very quickly. Even if we draw a Field of the Dead, it's probably not going to be enough because they likely have a removal spell for one of the zombies, which means Vessel would get through for a single point. There's an Narset. Opponent's going to reveal Expressive Iteration. That's a good one. Narset into Expressive Iteration's like what, a +4? I'm sorry. Narset into Expressive Iteration's what they have, but dang, a 3rd Baleful Strix. Opponent's keeping up the clock, that's for sure. Maze of Ith is a decent draw to at least keep the Vessel of the All-Consuming off of us for a little while. Yes, I know how this card works, opponent. I'll take my 3 points of damage. Opponent's resolving Expressive Iteration. Let's find out what we learned this time. Baleful Strix. Okay. And we no longer see it in exile. Opponent has cast it. And it's discarding 2 cards. Alright, let's find out what they discard. See if we can gain a little info for the next game. Narset and Brainstorm. Makes sense when the Narset in play is probably not getting removed. So I guess now we're just going to... We really need a powerful draw off the top. And it has to be like a actual game-ending draw, because we only have 2 more turns. Realistically, this is our last draw step, so let's find out if we get it. Surgical Extraction. That's a pretty good one, opponent, but I don't have a graveyard because you took it away. Fury. See, isn't it great to know that they, for some reason, still have Fury in their deck? I mean, here it looks pretty good because I'm pretty sure it puts lethal on the board. And that wasn't any way to stop that. So let's go to game 3. I may have lied. I think I want this Bazooka Bog. Or I want this over the Ghost Quarter after all. I don't think it would have changed that game. It's not like we had a Thespian stage, but yeah, I certainly like having different outs than I had there. I could take a Force of Vigor for the Hitsugetsu, but I just don't feel that's the access we want to be fighting on. I would love to play first. This has a lot of things, but I think it's a mulligan most of all. This one I think is actually a keep. The games tend to have ran long, and we have a Field of the Dead. Yeah, I'm going to keep this and bottom the forest. Opponent has shown Surgical a couple of different ways, so it's fairly likely that they'll have Surgical yet again for this Life from the Loam, but it's at least an engine for us to get started on. I started instead with Pyroblast because I was hoping to tag a 1-drop, but I didn't get it. Ooh, Exploration off the top is amazing. Let's go ahead and fetch. Grab the Force. Exploration. Thespian Stage. Waterlogged Grove. Life and Loam, target Misty Rainforest. Alright, it resolved. Let's see if they have the Surgical for it. They do. Okay. We are going to be playing a game without Life from the Loam. We do already have access to Field of the Dead. Unfortunately, now they get to know about Pyroblast. And the fact that we can cast it with this Misty Rainforest, but that is what it is. Would have been nice if we didn't have to reveal we had Waterlogged Grove. So opponent might have sat on that Surgical, only to get blown out by Waterlogged Grove. Still, I think that was an acceptable place to play into a Surgical. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to draw a card, see where that takes me. Also interesting. I guess I'm going to play that. I think working towards more lands is more important, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn. See what the opponent has here is a 2-drop. There's almost nothing I would besage you. I guess they could have a Hitsugetsu, but I don't even think I would besage you that. Narset. I would like to fight over a Narset. The fact that the opponent knows that I have this Pyroblast means that they already know that this Narset's not resolving. Unless they have a Force, so they probably have the Force. There's the Force. That's fine. You will get a card off your Narset. Let's see what it is. I mean, you may get a card off your Narset. Sometimes it misses. Did not. Gave him a Brainstorm. That'll probably help him out of their color screw situation. Especially since we drew the second one there, I really want to take the opponent off this Narset. I do not want them drawing more cards. I will probably Thespian Stage... I probably won't Thespian Stage copy Taiga now. But that was originally the plan. Hopefully they just miss on the fetch land here. Best way we win the game is the opponent just draws 3 spells here and no land. They hit the land. So we're not getting an easy way on this one. That's a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Another Thespian Stage. Alright, makes me regret I didn't copy anything last turn. I wasn't sure really where I was going to go with it, but I still should have copied, something. It didn't matter this turn, but it will start mattering next turn. Opponent also, of note, is not so worried about fetching red. They are definitely worried about their blue and black. Enough so that they had the option to fetch it there, and they completely ignored it. So they either already had that Volk in hand, or they weren't worried about it. That's brutal. But not the end of the world. You know why? We have an island. And we have a swamp. So we will lose 3 lands there. But we will actually end that exchange with more lands in play than our opponent. Winding Way off the top? I feel like I still have to play that and then pass the turn. Because we're a little pinched on green. Ruination, definitely the kind of card opponent needed. But we also need to kind of draw into some action here. So let's see if we can hit a Winding Way. With Seiju Who Endures. That's better as a land drop currently. I will not put in anything off Manabond, mainly because I don't have anything. Opponent's up to 3 cards in hand. Hits their 3rd land drop. Is Hitsugetsu? Nope. Just passing the turn. Alright. Maybe they have 2nd Ruination in hand. I guess we'll find out. We're back up to nearly where we were with Field of the Dead. Okay, opponent's casting a 4-drop, apparently. So 3 was not the pinch, 4 was. Is that another Ruination? Narset holding up Pyroblast. Okay. Holding up Pyroblast, maybe? Probably not. I don't know why you would hold up Pyroblast against me. Of note, though, this swamp is about to become a mountain because it is better for us to have a mountain. Because we do have Pyroblast in our deck and such. And we're also going to fetch out a tapped Stomping Ground to hopefully increase the odds of us drawing a Mulch or Winding Way. Opponent grabbed an Expressive Iteration off their Narset, and we hit another Manabond. God, that's painful. Alright, we are not running so hot tonight. We're going to actually sandbag this Manabond for 2 reasons. 1, they might him or Thoughtseize us. And 2, they might Hitsugetsu us. So all the horrible things that the opponent could do to us mean that we should hold this in our hand. It might incentivize him to do a slightly less horrible thing to us. Alright, opponent casts Expressive Iteration. That's fine. Let's see what card they pick up with it. The one that we get to know about is Force of Negation. Alright, that one can stay right in exile. I'll skip casting spells next turn. Not a big deal. Oh, if this is just like a Days of Doing, that's... Yes, please. Alright, is there anything I want to copy before everything goes away? This island is technically better as a volcanic island. At least for now. Till Ruination comes around again. Alright, Yavimaya wasn't what I was looking for, but it's okay. We still have 2 or 3 good draws we could hit. Little unfortunate that we're not hitting any of them, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and pass the turn here. Opponent's got a full grip of 7 again. They've definitely got control of this game. We're just kind of hoping to lucksack into something like a Dark Depths. Crop rotation. Opponent's definitely digging here, though. So they're probably looking for that Hitsugetsu to just clear my Exploration and Manabond, and then subsequently start clocking me. I don't think they've used Narset yet this turn, which is also interesting. I don't know if that's intentional or accidental. I'd lean towards accidental. Ponder resolves. Of note, the opponent cannot cast another Narset currently. They only have one blue source. Additionally, I think I lied. Alright, they remembered their Narset. I think I lied about this volcanic island. Oh, see? There's a ruination that made me lie about volcanic island. There's the Hitsugetsu. Okay. We're going to make this volcanic island into a regular island, I guess. I'm going to grab a snow-covered forest since I know that the opponent has Ruination in hand. Destroys both my 1-drops. I have 1 draw step to basically hit Dark Depths, and even then, they very likely have the answer for it. So what do we got? You know what? Winding Way is a lot of looks. Let's fire this off. Hopefully it resolves. It does. Land. Oh, Field of the Dead's good. Field of the Dead's good. Wasteland's not bad, but Field of the Dead's real good. So we have a Field of the Dead. That's pretty good. It's only going to make 1 zombie before it dies, but hey, it is what it is. Our graveyards are gone. Opponent's likely casting that Ruination in their hand. Yep, not much we can do about that. We already have our island, our mountain, and 2 forests in play. See if the opponent's going to Daze Undoing us again. Our Daze opponent, please do not undo them. Ooh, another Narset. Okay, we're going to be able to take a card off that Narset, which is kind of nice. Of note, we won't be able to clock the opponent out fast enough, so there's no point in attacking them over the Narset. Surgical is basically a blank there, which means they missed. Oh, I take it back. This exiled our graveyard, then they Ruinationed. Huh. Okay. This makes it far harder to win the game. We're going to tick in at this Narset to take it off searching again. And we basically need to draw right off the top a Dark Depths. I am glad I brought in the other Dark Depths again over a Ghost Quarter, because if I do a Ghost Quarter right now, I would probably scream. 3rd, Thespian Stage. Alright, so let's see. We don't have many of those left in the deck, so that was a pretty unlikely draw. Pretty unlikely draw. Alright, we're going to go ahead and Wasteland the opponent, take away 1 of their lands, since they've taken away ever so many of ours. And we'll Nug Narset down to 1 and pass the turn. Hitsugetsu will consume and transform into a 3/3. So I could still technically draw a Dark Depths, but we'll see if it goes that way. Opponent's going for the Brainstorm here. I'm hoping by holding the Thespian Stage in hand that I'll force them to play around crop rotation and make them dig for a Force of Will that's otherwise blank. It could, I wouldn't say backfire on me by getting hymned, But that doesn't really matter as far as backfiring because Soren the Mirthless. Now the opponent has a blocker for Merit Lodge. That's not ideal. Because if the opponent discards this, we couldn't have made the 2020 anyways. So I'm probably going to put this Waterlogged Grove in play, and we're going to play for the really, really, really long game. And I think that we're going to Thespian Stage copy Waterlogged Grove and then cycle Waterlogged Grove. Alright, let's see what the opponent reveals. Opponent chooses not to reveal. Wow. Wonder if it was like another Ruination or something. Had to be something big. I can't realistically block either of those things. Eventually, I can absorb 2 damage on the vessel. But not the biggest priority. Strix is yet another blocker. Or I guess in this case, it's an attacker. Because the opponent has correctly identified their role and is currently attacking me. So I guess it's the island I want to give up. I guess I still want to keep the mountain. So, copy a Waterlogged Grove. Let's go ahead and sacrifice this to draw a card. Mulch is a good one. Mulch is a good one for sure. I don't think it'll be quite fast enough. Blast Zone. Everything's a 3-drop. I block there. Blow up Blast Zone on 3. How long do I have? I don't think I get to do this. Yeah, because that take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is probably the decision point that makes the game. Do I play Blast Zone and tick it up to two more? Which is a 2. Yeah, no, I just don't have time for that. I don't think Mulch gets me out of this either, but we're going to cast it. Well, that's 3 lands, and I don't think that's going to save us. So we're going to go ahead and concede, and good game, opponent. Alright, I'll see you back for round 4. Thanks so much, and remember, if you want your name listed in the bottom right, to follow us on twitch.tv/lucksackg, where we will be streaming soon enough. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace. Alright, we're back here for round 4 with 8 Mulch. I would like to play first. I would like to keep this hand. This hand looks very good. Would be nice if we also, in addition to this, had a wasteland, but hey, you know, you can't have it all. So we do just have a turn 2 20/20 if we need a fast combo. We have Mulch next turn if we need to grind. Like if the opponent just has a wasteland they put in play here where we can't make a 20/20. I don't like where this is going. I am glad I fetched my snow-covered forest. It looks like I will be casting Mulch to try and find Beseiju. Because it looks like the opponent's about to try and blood moon me. You're a monster, opponent. A monster. I have a family opponent. Alright, so Blood Sun works with Dark Depths, right? Like, Blood Sun's like our best possible option here. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we're going to try and Mulch into Beseiju here. So, Dark Depths enters with no ice counters on it. Stomping Ground enters, and I don't even have to pay for it. And we cast Mulch. We get 4 cards. They aren't the ones we're looking for, but we did certainly draw a lot of cards. Alright, opponent has a Crystal Vein for follow-up. Interesting. I wonder if this is an opponent that's playing a budget deck, or if this is a conscious decision to play an 8th Or sorry, ninth Ancient Tomb effect. Alright, opponent is just tapping 3. Is sacking Crystal Paint. Chalice on 1. Yeah, I don't care super a lot about that. Alright, double Field of the Dead isn't super great, while lands don't have abilities. So, I'm going to go ahead and play double Field of the Dead and pass the turn. Opponent was relatively screwed if they were not the deck that they are. But, 'tis is what it is. Alright, this is something big. 6 mana Chandra. Inferno of the Star Mounts. 6/6 flying haste with fire breathing. Alright, cool. We get 2 draw steps to hit Boseiju. Mulches help. Technically, that helps. This gets us 3 looks at it next turn instead of 1. But reduces our outs, I think? No. No. No, it's just all upside to play Life in the Loam. Yeah, because I have another green source. Cool. Alright, 1, 2. Why can't this Caracas bounce this legendary creature? Alright. And we're gonna boink, boink. And pass turn. We get 3 draws out of Boseiju. Come on, Boseiju. We play 2 of them. We get to look at 3 cards. All we need is 1. 1 off the top wins us this game. See if the opponent, I guess the opponent can Fire Breathe now or next turn, and it's still lethal either way. Opponent may have forgotten that my Caracas couldn't bounce their Inferno. I didn't forget, I was just disappointed at it. Banefire for 3. Oh, okay, I'm pretty sure the opponent just has a burn spell in hand and it's just going to kill me next turn. Alright. Banefire for 3. 1 Boseiju, please. 2 Winding Ways. Alright, so it did cut off outs. It cut off Winding Ways as outs. There are 8 Winding Ways instead of 2 Boseijus, so after we die, I will have to look at the top cards of the library and find out if we could have won this game. So let's draw 1 card and 2 cards. It was an Otawara, which would have won us the game. Okay. That was my mistake, so we'll know for next time. We're playing our worst matchup. We'll take our 1 Force of Vigor. I definitely should be playing more of those. And I guess we'll cut our 1 Bojuka Bog. And we're going to hit submit. Oh, I lied. We want these Flame Jabs real bad. And I wouldn't normally say that we want Caracas, but I feel like we do now. I'm going to keep this 7. And I'm going to Manabond on 1. And I'm going to hope that after I get Blood Mooned, I'm able to mulch into something. A little shame I didn't have 1 more land here. I could have made a 20/20 before they could even get a Blood Moon online. But, que sera, sera. You can't always have it all. Alright, so opponent goes Chrome Mox. They now know that all of their Blood Moons are good. Fiery Confluence. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Well, that's not very good for them. You can have your Goblin Shaman token, opponent. I will still draw with Life in the Loam. If I hit 2 untapped sources, which I did, I can still make a 20/20. So let's Life in the Loam. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Now, I'm actually going to put a stop at my own end step, just so I don't accidentally miss anything here. I would love to use Manabond's ability. I would love to put these 3 things on the battlefield. I would like to always yield to this ability. I would like to fetch, make another one. I would like to fetch, make another one. And then I would like to make a Big Daddy 20/20. And then opponent, this is the board that you will have to beat. So you have to beat my 30 power. Can you beat my 30 power? This is my worst matchup. So discard your cards and draw your cards, opponent. The good news is if they answer my 20/20, I probably just put another one in play next turn. Because Manabond plus Life in the Loam is busted. Opponent's choosing, I guess, what to discard, because they haven't discarded any cards yet. Also, I probably should bring in Collector Oofs, as I realize that half my opponent's mana is artifacts. Opponent discard 2 mountains. Opponent's making a treasure token from the attack. I'll block with my 2/2 zombie to trade it off. And the opponent has what is a follow-up. That's pretty good. That is a blocker. Alright, let's go ahead and dredge 3. Sadly, we did not hit... Oh, we did hit what we were looking for. We hit an Ottawa. Alright, sick. So we're going to put those back in our hand, play Wasteland, Ottawa, this back to my opponent's hand, and swing for lethal. Alright, cool. Let's see if we can do the same thing in game number 3, shall we? Ottawa definitely pulling its weight. Oofs. I don't know if I actually want these on the play, on the draw. On the play, probably. I definitely want these jabs. There's certainly some lands I can cut. I think that's probably a good setup. Flame Jabs are just for Magus, which I really hope they don't have. We have a hard time answering that card. This hand would be so good with a green source. Oh well, we don't have a green source. We're going to mulligan. Ideally, we mulligan into a hand that gets to abuse the opponent's deck against them and has a fast 20/20 coupled with, this is going to be the keep, by the way, which has the Dark Depths and the Besage. It has the cards I asked for. I guess Waterlogged Grove is the card we're bottoming. If the opponent has a turn 1 Blood Moon, that's kind of actually... keep. I think I should bottom, because if they have a Blood Sun, I'm going to feel so bad for keeping this Windswept Teeth. I think it's just got to be oof. See what they have. to 1 Ancient Tomb. Chalice on 1. Alright, that's fine. Makes our mana bond a lot worse, but that's okay. We now have an opportunity to fetch our basic forest, which is absolutely amazing. Of note, opponents cannot forget Chalice triggers on Moto, so don't try. Opponents in paper forget Chalice triggers all the time. Alright, opponent's going to Chrome Mox, Imprinting, Legion Warboss, another Chrome Mox, okay, Imprinting, Leyline of the Void, and Banefire. Alright, what's your 4-drop, opponent? Chalice on 2. That is marginally more annoying, but we're literally not even going to do anything about it. If the opponent has a Blood Moon, cool. And if they don't, then boom. Alright, I don't want to play this because I don't want their mana to be painless, even if it means I have to take a little bit of pain, so I'm going to play this and pass. I certainly have some choices about whether I blow up Chalice on 1 or Chalice on 2. Because it is certainly one of those. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take out Chalice on 2. Or Chalice on 1, maybe? Chalice on 2, Chalice on 1. Chalice on 2 allows me to take out future Chalice on 1, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Let the opponent go get their mountain. Alright, so we unlocked Chalice on 2. And of course we draw a 1-drop after choosing not to go with that. Mulch into Thespian Stage, Snow-Covered Forest. That's pretty good. Play out a Thespian Stage, I guess. We'll pass the turn. We have a 20/20 next turn. So the opponent does have to Blood Moon us right now. Or we put a 20/20 into play. I don't like that they're paying costs. Okay, that's just 1 damage to each creature. That's fine. Oh no, they did choose 3 burn mode. Okay, confused me there for a second. I'm like, damage to a creature is totally fine. Alright, I'm going to play Dark Depths and just make an immediate 20/20 and see if they can beat it. Alright, opponent, this is my 20/20. If you cannot answer it, you will die. I can't believe we beat Mono Red Stompy. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. If you're as hyped as I am that we just beat Mono Red Stompy, hit that like button down below and leave a comment. It makes the algorithm, I promise you. Alright. Alright, we're on the play here for round number 5. If this crop rotation had been a Manabond or an Exploration, I still couldn't keep I could have kept this hand, but I probably would have. Let's go ahead and mulligan it, though. I think we go to 5. Like, this hand has a fair amount of interaction, but just... I think this is our best hand. Alright. So we are going to fetch a basic, play a Manabond, put our Dark Depths into play, and pass the turn. Or we're going to get our Manabond forced, which is also perfectly acceptable. Looks like that is what's going to happen. See what the opponent pitches for it. Ponder. Sure. Alright, opponent pitches Ponder. Also means that unfortunately his Tabernacle's probably not going to be amazing, but that's okay. Let's see if we can hit a Winding Way or something off the top. Ooh, is the opponent playing Food Chain or Infect or something cool like that? That's an amazing draw. I can play it around Daze, but I don't think I should. Alright, cool. I would love to trigger this because now they have a hierarch in play, so my Tabernacle's not blank. So now if we draw a Winding Way, it's just supercharged by the fact that we have a Manabond. It is Infect. It is Infect. Oh my god. I have a friend that would be so excited right now. Alright, so the opponent has a freeze spell. They were just trying to pay costs on. So we kind of need a Winding Way or a Wasteland right now. Winding Way, Wasteland. That means that if they don't kill us, we kill them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's go. I will choose to put no lands into play. Alright, opponent. Let's see if you choose to pay for things. It looks like you are. The scary thing would be... Okay, good. I said the scary thing would be if they choose to pay for just Blighted Agent and let Hierarch die. That's a terrifying world. We cannot do anything about this. It is a 1-1. It is a 2-2. Okay, cool. Opponent only attacks with the 2-2. We're not going to pay because it's indestructible. We are 1 mana off of doing that, which is pretty hot. Alright, so the opponent has to block here. Or they will die. Yep. Also, yep. It is still a lethal attacker. Do I want to put this into play? I'm going to go with no. Because if I draw a blue source, I can bounce the Blighted Agent. And that probably wins me the game. Let's see if they have maybe another Inkmoth Nexus to block. They either need to block or kill me, and I'd prefer it was the sooner rather than the latter. That is a 7-power Blight Agent. That is a 10-power Blight Agent. We have died. We have died to 13 Infect damage. Alright, so the opponent is on Infect. That's really cool. I wonder if they expect double Flame Jab. And a Force of Vigor. So I play this match a fair amount against a friend of mine that, for some god-be-known reason, loves Infect. And it's certainly an interesting matchup. Definitely luckier in paper because I'm playing a Glacial Chasm over the Tabernacle. Ghost Quarter is amazing. Let's try it like that. I would love to be on the play. This has Force of Vigor. And not much else. I think it's just a mulligan, even though it had the Tabernacle. This hand is just much, much better. Alright, keep. Bottom, Grove of the Burn Willows. Alright, opponent's also on a mulligan to 6. Let's go ahead and play a Manabond on 1, see if they have force. Force check. No force. Okay. I mean, we're not going to be triggering it this turn. Right? Yeah, I don't think that's correct. I think it's correct to play the Winding Way next turn. Looks at 4 cards as opposed to Life in the Limbs 3. That is a Glistener Elf. Okay, so we will be prioritizing this Blast Zone all of a sudden. And this Wasteland. Alright, so the current play line I see is play Blast Zone, because I won't be activating it this turn. Winding Way, trigger, put in Wasteland. Yeah. So Winding Way, let's hit a land. Opponent might force this or daze this. Alright, they don't. We hit a land. Presage is pretty good, but I think we're just going to have to put it in. Keeping them off lands is one of the best ways to... It's a little unfortunate we have to put in this Yavimaya too, because keeping them off of a force is one of the best ways to not die. So let's go ahead and waste them off of Trop and hope that that is their only green source. Or their only mana source, I guess. And that they were just hoping for a fast kill. Nope. They're going to Ponder. That's reasonable. We're still in a decent position here. If Life and Loam turns over 2 more mana-producing lands, we can Wasteland and Blast Zone, which is probably going to put our opponent in a pretty rough spot. I would like to Life and Loam. Did not hit exactly what I was looking for, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and pick up this Wasteland. And Wasteland the opponent. Pass to this turn, and we'll run it back again. Hopefully next dredge, we actually do manage to turn over a couple lands. Ideally, a red source and a flame jab would just be the absolute bee's knees. Alright, opponent's fetching here, probably for a basic. Looks like it is for their basic forest now. Scale up's a scary one. Do you have the finishing blow? Ah, we died in fact. Alright, I'm not mad about that. My friend's going to be so excited about this league. We could have left up Blast Zone. However, I feel like we're pretty likely to keep them off of it if we just Wasteland them. Because they probably drew towards a Blight Agent draw, but definitely Glistener Elf here. Well played from the opponent. Well played. Good games, and thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you wish to tune in... Oh, no, I just remembered. I'm sorry for not updating the record in the bottom corner. I will do that. Next time, hopefully. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Alex here with Lucksack Games. Reminding you to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.